Jason, JROCK Houston. Tonight I'm speaking with guitar player Michael Thomas from a band Lawless Hearts. How you doing tonight, Michael?
I'm doing great, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
And now, of course, you're from a band, Lawless Hearts. How long has the band been together?
Well, the band, I believe the name has been around for a number of years. And the lineup has changed a couple of times. But this is the most, one that we've seen the best results from. It's pushed quite the furthest, leading to us with the record deal and everything. And this lineup probably going on 2 years.
And are you an original member, Michael, of the band?
Oh yeah, I'm a founder.
Okay. Member. And I understand that the singer in the band, Alex, that's your sister. Am I not correct?
Yes, sir. It's my sister.
And so I was curious about the fact that you guys are related and playing together in a band. Are you older or younger? The reason I was asking, I was kind of curious. Did you start playing first, and she kind of followed you into becoming a musician?
Well, I mean, I'm actually younger, believe it or not. She's 6 years older than me.
Oh, okay.
And she looks like, because she was born premature, so she's able to, she looks way younger than she is. So she's still in her 20s, she's not like old, but, we both were in music.
Okay.
Both went to art school. She started off with piano, and we always wanted to be a singer, which is crazy enough. She's actually being premature. She was born deaf in one of her ears, so she was tone deaf.
Oh, wow.
For her to be able to sing now, that was something she had to overcome. And everyone said, a lot of her so-called friends, I would call them associates, that she would never be a singer. She can't do it. It doesn't sound good, and everyone still has their opinion with it, but she's achieved so much, what we have now, because she wanted to do it. She wanted to be a singer, and that's what we're going to be. And me, with guitar, I got my first guitar when I was about 6, and there was a love and affection for that instrument, and I took it from there. And my mother, she's a singer. I mean, nothing professionally, but she's always was singing around us. And my dad, he's a chef. He plays guitar as well. And music is just very, it goes down the line. History of our family, very rich in our bloodline.
Oh, wow. So you guys do come from a musical family. I got to tell you, I kind of got all respect for you guys, especially the story you told me about all that your sisters overcome with, with being deaf and that. Because I got to tell you, in preparing for this interview, Michael, I was looking at your videos and listening to some of the music up on your site, and she really does sound like a professional singer in the sense that I would never have guessed that she had all those things to overcome, and so to somebody like that, I just got to say I tip my hat to her because it's normally hard for anybody to get a record deal or make it in the music industry, especially somebody that's had that much things to overcome. It shows you her dedication and all her hard work that has got her to where she is today.
Exactly. I'm there for her, for anything that she needs help with. But she gets it with her exercises. It gets with keeping. She vocalizes every day. That's something a lot of singers I don't see do too much nowadays. Where you need your voice is your instrument.
Yeah.
You need to take care of it, and she does that, and she will continue to get better over the years that we have, and we roll off of each other. We don't just plateau. We want to always get better and better and better and better.
And I've talked. I've heard people like other musicians that are like related, like Van Halen brothers and that. And they say because of the simple fact that they're related and that they kind of are intersync, or they can kind of predict what the other one's going to do before we even play a note. Do you guys kind of have that same connection, being that you're related?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean the Van Halen brothers, they were just extremely talented. Actually, they're from Holland.
Yeah, yeah.
And our grandfather, they came over when they were young. I don't think they even spoke English. They first came over, but our great grandfather on my mother's side, her grandfather, he was a really well-known musician. He played all the instruments, and mainly, I think it was the violin.
Oh, okay, cool.
He played in bands for, he came over from Holland, and we actually, when we went to a European tour, played a couple shows. We played in the city he was from, Rotterdam, and he came over here, and he played with some of the likes of, in the jazz there, Frank Sinatra.
Oh, wow.
Got a couple cool pictures I have to send you so you can see what he looks like. It's funny.
Okay.
It's the dedication to it. There's just something, it's like, with a marriage.
Yeah.
You have a man and a woman, and even though they fight and there's disagreements and stuff, there's always something that you overcome it, because marriage isn't easy. Learning the guitar or your instrument, anything worth having what you want to achieve, isn't easy. So you have to put the hours and time into it. Even virtuosos, they still sit there.
Yeah.
They get it a little bit differently. But even virtuosos, they still have to sit there and hum their skills if they really love it.
Yeah,
Takes time.
Perfect example. I was watching that metal show this weekend, and they had Michael Schenker on there, and he, he's a guy who was in the Scorpions, and he was still talking about. He goes, man, I'm still discovering new things that I can do on the guitar. I'm still developing as a guitar player. And this is a guy that's had a career professionally for at least 40 years.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
And because there's so many different things. Because I went to a classical guitar to the art school that we both went to, Douglas Anderson, and I just took that technique and put it to the electric guitar. But with guitar, there's so many different. There's so much transitions and chord progressions, and there's so much you will never in a lifetime be able to have played them all. That's why it's just such an really interesting
instrument. Yeah.
So.
And let me ask you, Michael, do you remember what was the first song you learned to play on the guitar?
Believe it or not, when all that when I was like a lot younger, I'm 22, like a lot younger. I got my first guitar when I was 6. The music was definitely not 70s and 80s rock, obviously, that. But, it really wasn't, I had to look to my parents' band, that once they taught me. The first song my father taught me, I had his Telecaster, and he showed me how to play Let It Go. It's one of my favorite songs by Def Leppard.
Oh, okay, yes.
I like the older stuff. It's a lot of those.
Yeah.
When 86 happened, Bon Jovi helped, lead those, put some sugar on these songs and all stuff. That was great too, but, the older stuff, the bluesier stuff, I love that, as well. And that was the first song he showed me, and I was hooked. I was like, man, I'm going.
And so let me ask you, what was it like for you when you were coming up? And do you remember like when you wrote your first piece of original music or your first original song? That must have kind of been a great feeling for you.
Oh yeah, I remember clearly. To start with, I was in the being from Jacksonville, Florida. Southern Rock is real rich. We got a lot of Southern Rock boys that come from Jacksonville. And, me and some boys from school, we started a Southern Rock band. We named it 10 West. I-10 goes all the way to California. It was kind of corny at the time, but it was cool. But we knew our instrument. But we want to play freaking down Southern Rock to kick your ass.
Yeah.
That's who we were. We were on the west side of town, and we just did what we loved. And I was the main writer for that band, just the riffs. Just because I was the one bringing the stuff to the table. I'm not saying I had no one else to write.
Yeah.
But there was a song that there's two songs actually. One was called, I want to send them to you and show you like how we evolved, but got some recordings in the studio. One was called it's called Hey.
Okay.
It's just like an anthemic song, and it was in D, and we just searched, and we played a couple of festivals with it. People, it was just like, I don't know. It's like, it was very like, I knew that I could be in years down the road. I could just, if I keep going my song, I knew that I was hooked on just writing my own songs. I love other people's songs. I didn't want to play covers.
Yeah.
And there's another one. I forgot the name.
That's all right. I mean, original music is.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say original music is where it's at. I mean, that's where you make the money. And so, how did?
Catch people. I don't want to. There's so many cover bands now. It's like, okay, we're gonna make a couple bucks, but like, don't get stuck in that rut because you will not get out,
And I was curious, how did you guys come to name the band Lawless Hearts? Great original name.
Appreciate that, and well, to believe it or not, it's actually my mom. She said, "Don't you want like a little bit more rock and roll story?" But it's believe it's a really true story what I'm about to tell you, and everyone's like, "Wait a minute, no way." So, my parents being how supportive they are of the group, and supporting me and my sister. We've had, throughout the years, the very beginning of the band, like first 6 months, year of the band, we were trying to find like a name for the band.
Yeah.
Fit our sound that we have created, and we came up with some lame names like Quest and Strawberry Creek Revival because the name that was the name of the creek right by our house.
Yeah.
And I was just like, we would settle with some names, and then it was just tired, like 6 months of it. I mean, we even had, when I was in high school, we had an EP that like the school did, they recorded, it was a recording class, and they recorded, a little EP, and our opening Quest was on, and then shortly after we, got Lawless Hearts, but, the long story short, because I get drifted away with ADD, my mom and I went in my parents' room because I was going to help my dad on day something. We had some yard work or something to do early. And my mom, just a picture of her, she's laying in bed. She's kind of like cocked up and her glasses are half off.
Yeah.
And literally, I'm talking to my dad, and in mid-sleep, kid's not mid-sleep, she comes up and has her eyes closed and says, "Lawless Heart," and falls back to sleep.
Well, that.
I kid you not, dude.
The cool thing, I mean, that is so cool, and I mean, it's so simple, but at the same time, because I think, I mean, a typical name you might have think of right away is like, I thought, oh, well, at least they didn't call themselves the Lonely Hearts or the Broken Hearted or something like that. It sounds Lawless Hearts. That sounds it's got a little more of a rock edge sound to it.
Exactly, exactly what she said that, and I was like, come on, there has to be history of rock and roll band around the world. Dude, with how much internet has been around and everything, and I went up and there was no band. I said, "Holy shit, I'm taking it," and we trademarked it. The logo was created by one of our web designers there, and he had Pierre Sky.
Okay.
Web design, and it just went from there.
Oh, cool. And now I see you guys have a new EP coming out tomorrow. It drops called Creatures of Habit. Can you tell us a little bit about the EP, like how many songs people get on it, and just who produced it, whatever else you want to tell us?
Sure thing. Well, this EP, with the way the industry is, you don't want to like kind of just go full-fledged unless you have like tons of money for promotion and where you're gonna put it. But this EP is gonna have 4 songs. These 4 songs, the first track was Creatures of Habit, which we have a music video too, and it's getting a lot of good response, and that's the radio as well.
Okay.
And that's the title of the EP. The other, following the second track is If I Have To, the third track is Oblivion, and fourth track is The Fallout. And kind of, in other reviews, it sums up like it's its own story in 4 songs.
Oh, cool.
And these 4 songs will actually later on, in the year, we're going to release a full-length album, and it's going to be on the album is called Hell Is Back Again.
Okay, so the EP just kind of get something out there for people, give them like a little feel of what you guys are.
Exactly. Because we're a lot different than because we're going to mainstream rock radio right now. And even though we can kind of slide in, it's still you don't want to bombard the listeners with something that's like really super original right at once, because it's just, even though we know that there'll be a group of people that really do like it, you just want to You want to test the water, so it's like you put your toe in the cold water, you just slowly ease in, and then all of a sudden, bam, there's the album. They're ready for you. They're ready to digest what you've created for them, and that's really what I think is the best.
Yeah, well,
best way. So later on in the year, you expect a full-length album.
Well, I gotta be honest with you, Michael. I never heard anything about your band until your publicist turned me on to you guys, and of course, and like I said, in preparation for the interview, I went in and listened to some of the music, and I checked out the video. Now, the video for Creature of Habit, I'm really impressed with. It's for a relatively new band. It looked really professional. You want to talk at all about the video and you know how long it took you guys to shoot that and everything?
Oh my God, that was. I mean, we had such a we found this. Corey, my drummer, he found this director, Pindost, amazing guy. I mean, his vision, just right there along with ours. He's an incredibly talented man, and he does work on movies, like Hunger Games, doing
oh wow,
stuff for that. But he's not like the big guy, but he's coming up just like us.
Yeah.
He really loved the band, and he knew we didn't have a ginormous budget because at the time we were independent. We didn't have a label.
Yeah.
Then, this is something that I told Pavement, that it's what you can expect from us. They hadn't seen it yet. But besides the fact, we found him. He fell in love with the band. The chemistry between us was great, and we had a very limited budget. So how, they call it a treatment. Let's figure out locations, everything we do around this budget. The amount of time we had was like, because we're all working full-time jobs, pay bills, because you gotta do everything to make money till the record sells, And we picked this one weekend, and we had literally we filmed 24 hours. All we had was all day stuff, the whole entire from sun up to literally sun up Sunday.
And did you guys?
Saturday, sun up Sunday, and we almost didn't finish. It
Wow.
It was insane, because at the Grundy Hotel, you can see, we paid him an X amount of money to use it.
Yeah.
And it started raining.
Wow.
and originally we had this shot that was going to be outside, and we had this crazy thing he came up where it was pan, the camera was pan, it was all set up, and we set it all up, and then it started freaking raining, and then this person, old lady, there was a bunch of weird people in the hotel, drug heads and stuff, and this person pulled into our spot that we were actually filming when we were pulling in, so it was crazy. And the owner was freaking out, and he was like, "Hey, when y'all gonna move?" He told me it's 11 o'clock at night. It's 11. We told you you're gonna be here late. And we still had to go to the nice hotel to film. We almost didn't make. I remember we didn't have a sleep, driving.
Wow.
Sneak all of our gear, because we're not gonna try to bring the dang something to that nice hotel.
Wow.
And we snuck them all in one by one. And we ended up, literally, they had a couple little different plots to it that we had to end up makeshifting on a couple hours. Literally, thank God that we had such an amazing crew. I love them all. I love you guys. Shout out to you guys. To the Real Bun Studios crew. Can't wait for the next video. But that was crazy. And we somehow were able to finish the storyline we had created to make the freaking viewers understand what we were doing, because it's a narrative. Narratives are very difficult in 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
And so, when you guys make another,
so we finished it. I was like, oh my God, I couldn't even breathe. And beats down the road, and I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna be good. And then I saw it, I was like, holy crap, we finished it, and now here we go. It's starting to blow up everywhere.
And so when you saw the final edited video, what was that like for you? I mean, it must have been just just must have loved it.
My dad, he was, I was I hadn't seen it yet, and I was just kind of nervous, and I was like, man, we just wait, because we've been down the road, we did bad decisions, we wasted money, it's going to be what it is, I can't do this to my bandmates, having all these anxieties, we're all human. And I sit down, and it wasn't completely finished. So I was like, he had finished the plot lineup of, you know, the video, so you could follow it. It's just the edits weren't not yet shipped. And so I'm like sitting here, and he hadn't seen it, I hadn't seen it, and I play it, and I'm like, oh shit!
Wow.
I was like, my God, we did it. He's like, my dad gave me some that, you know, and I was like, man, I don't know how we did it. You know, I don't know how we did it.
Well, you did it because you guys got the talent, obviously, you know. So that's a big part of it. And I gotta say, mission accomplished with the video, because I gotta say it's really accomplished what it's meant to accomplish. In that, I looked at the video, you know, like you're saying, you want to give people a little taste of what you guys are about. And after looking at that video, it's like it left me wanting more. I can't wait to see the next video. I can't wait to hear other songs of the EP, if you know what I mean. And so it's really accomplished, I think, what you guys set out to do.
Exactly. You know, we want to play for the people. We want to give. We're entertainers, and we want to take people to a different, you know, viewing point of life, and make them just enjoy themselves. That's what we love to do. We just want to perform for you and give you our work, and let you know that, like, you know, on the way up, that we're experiencing the same thing as everyone. I mean, we don't come from, you know, some rich background. We're hard workers, regular, average Joe people that just want, you know, to take our music and share it to the world and play shows the rest of our lives.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell, Michael, just talking to you, that I can hear it in your voice, you know, the excitement, the anticipation, that you're kind of just going along for a ride, so to speak, right now, and you're just enjoying every minute of it. And
exactly, you know, and you are too. You're along for the ride. You reached out to us, you know, and you're actually putting everyone on the phone right now. I'll remember you forever.
Yeah, see,
we're in this together. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, to me, that's what it's all about. I mean, I hate getting on sites and seeing people just, you know, trash bands or write nasty reviews just for the sake of writing a nasty review. I mean, like, in preparation for your interview, like I said, I never heard of your band, so I thought, before I interview this guy, I better go on his site, better listen to some of the music, have an idea what they're about. And luckily, I dug it, you know. And right off the bat, I got a ton of respect for a guy that's a musician, because I enjoy music like a lot of people, but you know what? I cannot play a musical instrument for the life of me. I mean, I could probably take lessons and learn. So I got respect for anybody who can get up on stage and do what you guys do, you know.
Exactly, you know, and I respect that and appreciate it.
And to me, I'd rather spread the word about a band I love than spread the word about a band I hate. You know, I'd rather. I think there's more positive energy in doing that.
Exactly. You know, we've had a couple, you know, that we haven't really posted, that people have their different opinions, but it was funny because this one guy that did, it wasn't like a bad review, but it was very kind of like, okay, dude, that's your opinion, okay, you know, you're entitled.
Yeah.
But I got an email the other day from a guy that had read that review. And he was for this big, huge rock magazine in Brazil.
Wow.
he read it and said, "Hey, I want to do an interview. I want a CD. I want to do a review." I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, that's cool."
Yeah.
And so he said, I was like, because at first I didn't know that was a bad, because my drummer today, you know, he actually found us off of a bad review.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, I don't care. Cool. I mean,
hey, whatever.
Everyone in the dang world.
Yeah, whatever works. You know, and next thing I want to talk to you about is your label is, of course, Pavement Entertainment. They're a great little label. Has been around for a few years. How did you guys get your deal with them?
How we got our deal with them? Well, I hadn't heard from them from another group that's in Jacksonville that you know, partnered up with them, and they're doing very well for them to release their music, and they've been through the trenches, and they are happy, you know, with them. And we had gone through years and years of, you know, me and Corey just soliciting to labels, even unsolicited, where like they knew it was coming, talk to them, you know, I mean, years of that. I mean, not even just, we had managers, everything. And we've gone through some shady managers as well that have been crooked, but long story short, I had just, we were accepting submissions at the time, And I said, well, why not? And he had kind of given up. And I said, why not? Let me just shoot them my material, because it seemed like, you know, they're doing a lot for the band. Most of their bands are out on the road touring.
Yeah.
Or they're helping them get, you know, the promotions. They're on top of things. They're very, you know, and I asked my friend who's signed. And so I sent him on material. We just finished mixing and mastering the EP that you hear now.
Uh-huh.
And I sent that to him with the promo picture, and the rest is history.
And so let me ask you.
Now we're partners, and we're in it for the long run.
Let me ask you, from the time you submitted your demo or your songs, how long was it till you heard back from a label and they said, hey, we want to work with you guys?
I heard back from Tim, the A&R. He's also vice president of A&R.
Yeah.
I heard back from him, I actually said I came at the right time, because, you know, time of year with the labels where they start, you know, looking and shopping, and it's, you know, it's near the end of the year, like, you know, the beginning of the year, and because I didn't even think of that, I just, I hit him at a good time. It was probably, maybe like a week.
Wow, a week, that's...
Where, you know, I shared it to everyone, I assume, at the label, and all the other people, because they're also affiliates with, you know, bigger labels. And,
wow, one week, that's a pretty good turnaround, you know, from the time you submitted it. And I don't know if you know this, Michael, but the reason I brought up the label, cool thing about Pavement, I don't know if you know their story any, but Tim, the guy you mentioned, Tim King, he's a bass player from Soil also, and so I think one thing that makes Pavement really, you know, a successful label is the fact that you got a guy like Tim, who's a musician himself, running the label, as opposed to just another guy in a suit who's not a musician. You know, that way you don't have some guy telling you, we need something more commercial. I don't hear a hit here. Go back and write something more commercial. You know, all the guys, you know, tell me.
That's what I mean. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and me and Tim, we conversate just about every day. He's a great guy. He's something straightforward. You know, like, dude, you know, it's not worth it, or that's awesome, or, you know, and you know, he's been there and done it. You know, he's been to the top with his band, and he knows what it's like there, and it's like a low level of where we're starting, and very good guidance for a band, you know, that has had you know, experience. We're not new, but to right now with an official release, and making money finally, you know, in the future with our music, you know, that he's definitely good guidance.
Yeah, and I got to say, Michael, I'm looking on your Facebook page as we speak, and currently as we speak, you got 10,851 likes. That's pretty good for a relatively new band. So it looks like things are going to keep going up for you guys.
Yeah, we've been pumping it like crazy. Like, cause when we went to Europe, we did promotion there for ourselves, and we put a little money in, and we got a bunch of likes. And, you know, a lot of people sharing things, get a bunch of likes. And I think we're really going to blow up in South America, believe it or not, because I'll put somehow I posted something, and someone from South America liked it, and they shared it, and all of a sudden we got like 1,000 likes from Brazil and
wow.
and Colombia. I was like, okay, just from that one share.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
I mean, that shows you the power of it. That shows you the power of the internet. It must be a great feeling to think, you know, wow, you know, our EP it's not even going to be released till tomorrow. Somebody from the other side of the world where we haven't even played or stepped foot, you know, and knows about our little band. That's got to be just a great feeling.
Oh yeah, you know, and I would never, because I'm coherent. I'm not a whacker. It'll never ever get old to me, because it's something I love.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, I will always appreciate, if I have the time to give each and every individual fan that I have over the next years, a hug and tell them I love them. Thank you very much for just like really truthfully getting into my band, because if it weren't for you, then I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't be shit.
Yeah.
I would just be like, I would do it if I could. I mean, obviously you can't. If you're playing in front of 50,000 people, you can't individually hug everyone.
Yeah.
You'll figure out a way to kind of resemble that.
But see, I gotta tell you, Michael, and just talking to you, like I said, I can hear you're enjoying every minute of this, and you seem like a real down to earth guy. So I think that comes across anybody that talks to you, and you can tell when people are bullshitting you or when they're being really sincere. And so I think just you keep carrying yourself the way you are. People are going to be able to just feel that coming from you.
Exactly. I want people to know that I'm here to help them, and you can help me. I'm open to anything, and I'm just a guy just like you.
Yeah.
That's it. That loves to play music.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I'm looking on your Facebook page, and I was going to ask you. You kind of spokesperson of a band. Obviously, I'm talking to you today. You're doing the interview, and then I just noticed that you're the one guy from a band that kind of comments the most on the page. Or are you kind of in charge of updating the page and that?
Am I the one that made me post?
Yeah. Like it seems like I see your name like on the Facebook page a lot. Like
where it says like I'll do it.
Yeah.
I recently, this is like, I guess people who listen to this will hear, but I've recently deleted all my personal profiles and just focused solely on my band's Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. To do more business with it, to direct more people's attention to my business, and because I was getting a lot of people sending me some revealing photos.
Wow.
Let me delete this. You can reach me
somewhere else. Yeah.
But so I just I take control. Everyone's welcome. Like our band's not like, oh, that guy he posts on it, you're fired. No, everyone's welcome to post it. I love posting things.
Yeah,
Promoting the band. It's always good to promote, even if people get annoyed, because the more you're in front of the public.
Oh yeah.
The more the more people will be like, oh yeah, I know that guy. Oh, they're coming out. Oh yeah, I knew that.
I mean, again,
why wouldn't you want people to? It's not like you're panhandling and asking. I've done that before in the past. So with every artist has, hey, can you cut by this ticket from me? Yeah, of course. But I'm talking about like you're promoting your business and your work, and whoever is there to purchase it really wants to purchase it. They will purchase it.
Yeah, that's why I bring that up, because I know all the hard work that goes into doing that. I'm constantly updating my websites, almost daily with stuff I'm doing to promote the different interviews and stuff I do, and yet I haven't reached like 10,851 likes. So it's not for a lack of trying, but so my point is, definitely you guys are dedicated. You put in the hard work. You obviously love what you do, so you're doing something right, and keep it up.
That's what you do. If you find something, it's a guessing game. You throw something at the wall, and you see what sticks. And just being ourselves, sticking to our guns, and not going overboard on certain things.
Yeah.
You just have to be safe with it, and we're going to continue to do what we do, so we can, hopefully by, later on this year, we'll be able to get full-time touring out. That's all we want. It's just going to take a couple number of big shows to really, okay, well, this band's for real, and we're going to take it on from there.
I mean, look how popular you guys are already before the EP's even released, tomorrow, or before you even hit the road. So that's my next question. What are the plans for touring? You guys getting stuff lined up as we speak?
In the back end, we're trying our best. Because we don't have a partner with a agent yet. Just because it's, there's either the buy-on scenario or you buy into a tour, which we sometimes there's opportunities where you need to do that, where there's, in certain markets, because we just started getting our radio play. The radio reports are getting played in Iowa and Minnesota and some stations in New York, good number of internet stations already, but the ones up in, those states, those are FM stations, and that's just the first week. So once those radio reports start coming in, we start doing a couple interviews with the radio stations and whatnot. We see a lot of shows coming from that, because there'll be a demand. Because you want to go there, you don't want to come back in the negative.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna argue. If you break even, then you're doing good. Then if you break even, that's good. That is good enough reason to go out and do it. We're at a point that we don't want to risk anything too much quite yet, but we hope. I know that with the attention we're getting with the release, we'll soon have is just, solidifying a lot of tours and
you're the
level there.
yeah.
They're touring like crazy. I'm proud of those guys.
You're at the place right now where you're just trying to get the word out, and hopefully the more people hear the EP coming out tomorrow. You start getting tour offers and stuff.
Oh yeah, so we have already been getting tour offers, and we're just want to be really choosy right now. Just see what we need if we have to buy on eventually. But we've just been waiting, kind of anticipating this release. Because we want people to know there's something out there. The music video is helping tremendously. On TV stations around New York City and the boroughs. But we believe we'll get a lot of love up north at least.
And so, how do you get along with other band members? I mean, do you guys? Would you say you make your band decisions kind of democratically, or do you vote everything? How's that work?
No, I'm the main
guy.
I'm a founder. I know about a lot of stuff, but I'm very. It's a democracy. It's not a dictatorship.
Yeah.
Everyone, if we're in the band room practicing and there's someone has something to share, I'm the kind of guy that says, okay, if there's something on your mind that is really bugging you, just come out open and say right away, dude, you're fucking pissing me off, man. Here's my French, but be open with it, because the more you hold that in and you don't like what's going on, you're gonna rupture, man. You're gonna rupture like a friggin' appendix.
Yeah.
And it's all gonna everyone's gonna be confused what you're mad about.
Yeah.
And if you have something like an opinion, like, okay, I think this song should kind of maybe this verse should go here, or hey, what if we did this show like this, or the way I run the band is that, okay, well, if I have the executive decision, if I think, okay, well, no, this has to be this, just by the years I've been doing a lot of stuff for the band, I'll make it. But I'm not open to everyone's ideas, because Corey has some great ideas, Alex has some great ideas, Rob and Justin have great ideas, and I think a team and a business grows from people being open to other people's ideas. That's how you grow. Yeah,
a collaborative effort, if you will. Now this might seem like a silly question because you guys are adults, but when you guys are meeting people and meet and greets and stuff, or people come up to you after a show, what's it like when you have these guys come up to your sister, they don't necessarily know, but you guys are related? Like, you ever have trouble when you see a guy hitting on your sister or anything?
I think it's kind of funny, believe it or not.
Yeah.
We're all very confident with everything. I mean, obviously, if he's touching her in the wrong way, I'm gonna put him down.
Yeah.
But if he's just for it, I'm not gonna be some weirdo, and I'll watch. I'll be like, okay,
yeah.
But it was funny in Germany. A lot of German boys, they liked her and everything. But I definitely I have one eye on her and whoever's around her at all times, because she's a little girl. And
I mean, again, it's.
I'll do what's necessary.
I mean, again, it seems like a silly question, I realize, but I just got thinking. I mean, you always hear guys talking about what it's like to play with a girl in a band or whatever. But then on top of it, like in your situation, guys, she must have guys coming up to her and then they have no idea you're her brother or whatever, and then they find hey, sorry, dude, I didn't realize.
That happens all the time. Like, it's funny because this one guy at the last show we played down Metro Park.
Yeah.
He comes up to us and he looks at both of us. We're talking. Thank you for the sound and light.
Yeah.
And he said, you know what, y'all two could be twins. If y'all really wanted to. And I was like, we actually are related.
Oh, that's cool.
We're brother and sister. He's like, oh, no way.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I should have been. But it was funny. Last we were on this radio show called Thursday Night Loop Job, and those guys are crazy. It's funny. Like, Beers and Butthead interviewing you, and they were like, when we saw you, it reminded us of Rita Ford. You had to submit a sign to like the bikini poster of you. Like, I was on the phone with them. It was hilarious.
Wow. And so now, as far as like creating and the songwriting, when you guys start writing a song, what's the typical formula? Does it usually start with a guitar riff, or do you usually start with lyrics? What's the process usually?
Well, it's just, I mean, it could be any one of those. Really, like for these songs or the EP, there was something happening. So all the songs basically something happened to us, and I created the riff, and Alex, somehow crazy enough when I came to her with Creatures of Habit riff, she had already had lyrics to it, didn't even know I had the riff.
Oh wow!
Psychologically, it just kind of came together. Like she always writes, she always says for creative writing.
Yeah.
And she's very good with words. Like when I'm talking, I'm good with talking, like talking.
Yeah.
If I go and write, I'm a freaking at all. I need spell check like all throughout the whole thing. But she's she's a very great writer. She can express her emotions through words and not make it so deep where the average listener can't understand it.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of interesting.
But
yeah.
It'll go from there. It's really me and her will write the main ideas, and then my drummer and the rest of the people kind of will finalize it. But me and Alex mainly come up with the plot to the songs and the melodies.
I mean that's kind of interesting. Like you said, like she writes the lyrics obviously because she's a singer. But then like you're telling me, I like to talk a lot, and I can definitely pick up on that because you're a great talker, and that's not an insult or anything. Because I gotta tell you, a lot of times I interview people and I ask them questions, and all I get is yes, no, yes, yes, and to me like.
I do. You gotta be more interesting than that.
And to me, that's what makes a great interview. Like talking to a guy like you because. You just tell me one thing, and I get another question pops up in my head, and to me that's what it's all about. And I can tell that you love what you do because the way you talk and the way you come across. So I gotta say it's really been a great interview. And as far as like when you guys recorded this Creatures of Habit, were you all in the same studio together? Did everyone record their parts separately? What was the process for there as far as the recording?
The EP. If we were a 4-piece when we created this EP, we actually had this EP for quite some time. I mean, not like years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then shortly after we created it, that's what, because Rob, I've known him my whole life. We went to high school together, the bass player. We played, together before. When we lost our last bass player, he kind of slid in, and, there's a big long story with Justice, our rhythm guitar. And we actually, all the guitar parts that are being played, so like the rhythm, the leads, everything is me playing.
Oh, okay.
On the EP. And I mean, Justice plays his part, one of the parts live, of course. And then, it was just, the way we recorded kind of like a live scenario. This guy, John Farmer, I love him. He's actually here in Colorado singer.
Wow.
He has a little studio at his house.
Yeah.
And we had like a little live, the best recorded records were recorded.
Okay.
In a live scenario. Everyone kind of gets that basic fundamental track of the drum.
Okay.
Where, it's not, and then you overdub, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, and you touch it up, you redo the leads, you overdub with some rhythms, but the drums, with the rock and roll band, see the thing with rock and roll, how it's gotten so stale nowadays is that it's beat detected, it's so perfect. With rock and roll, there's a roll, man, you lean back and you have this feel. If you listen to Corey's feel, there's a roll into them. It's not just it's like, nah, he's right on time, man. He's right on that click track. We played to a click track for recording purposes, but we're very behind the beat. That rock and roll blues-esque feel. So we do the live there, we get the drums, and we'll overlay the bass. I'll come down, a couple days and record all the guitars. I'll do the rhythms first, and then I'll do any little lead melodies through the verses or choruses, and then I'll finalize that with the big main solos that will be in every one of our songs that you can expect in every one of our songs in the future, because that's who we are, and that needs to come back. And then the vocals are the last things, and then we'll probably add if there's any maybe strings or octave kind of thing later on, and to fill it out, because that sounds better on the radio if it's a little bit full. But I just want to bring that back to rawness of rock and roll, but it's still big because less is more. Everyone needs to know that less is more.
Yeah.
When Metallica came out with Entertainment, it was less. It was less, and why was it one of the biggest records in the world?
Yeah.
I rest my point. You know what I mean? Because it was just, you know, of course I love their older stuff. I mean, of course I love the beginning. I mean, I love it, you know, but I just, it's to answer the question, why was Avenged Sevenfold's recent album, to me, so much bigger? Because it was just freaking open. It was open. Everyone was like, holy, and it sounded humongous.
Yeah, I mean,
it sounded like just massive. And what were they doing? Less.
I mean, you make a great point there. I mean, I never thought of it like that, but again, like you said, I love the classic Metallica stuff, but I'd much rather listen to a song like Enter Sandman for the simple fact that it's maybe like a 5-minute song as opposed to a 9 or 10-minute epic song, you know. But
exactly. I mean, of course, give it to them. Give it to them along. I mean, they're amazing musicians, and I respect that. To answer the question on why which one, you know, because you got Eddie Van Halen, you got Ingrid Malmsteen. I love them both. You know, of course, you know, they're both amazing guitarists, amazing musicians, know their stuff. But which one in a commercial appeal? You know, Eddie, he could make a memorable solo in a radio-friendly song and still be known as this shredder. You know, like,
I mean,
that's what is the two differences.
And see,
why which one went a certain way and which one went, you know.
And to me, the thing with Eddie is when you know, Yngwie Malmsteen, for example, he can play, he can shred, he can do it all, and he can play technically precise. But when you consider the fact that Eddie Van Halen can't even read a lick of music and he can play like that, you know, that just shows you his talent.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And I want to bring it back because I know there's a lot of talented people out there, a lot of talented guitarists that just need a catalyst.
And so obviously,
maybe they don't have like supportive parents that want them to, you know, want them to maybe go be a doctor instead of rock and roll, or you know, or they don't really know. Okay, they're scared because they have got it. Having someone say, okay, it's all right, you're doing it right, keep going, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I believe that one day, you know, if I get a chance to be a commercial success, you know, it takes a couple of years from now, whenever that happens, to be a catalyst for young artists to achieve, you know, what is in their hearts. Because I know there with that game Rock Band, you know, you don't hear like Fall Out Boy and stuff on there. You hear like Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, Crystal Guns N' Roses, and Lizzy. And these kids, they have, you know, they have their driver's license now from when they're like 13 playing this video game. And they're turning on the radio and like, what is this?
Yeah.
Back to their old parents' records, getting their old shirts, wearing those, representing, and be like, hey, girlfriend, just check out Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, holy crap, you know.
Yeah. And
like,
so
there's a big resurgence coming along. And I
oh.
know that. And I know it. I know this for a fact. I know that there's a big movement because it's very stale in the industry right now. And it's not just rock and roll. It's hip hop. That's freaking R&B. That's pop music. That's everything.
I mean, yeah. You just look at some of your label mates on Pavement. I mean, the great thing too that I love about the label is, you know, Tim could have, you know, made it like just an all metal label or anything, but they've got different types of acts that they sign, and I think, you know, that's what makes them such a great label, and they support it all, you know. And now obviously Eddie Van Halen you mentioned, so obviously he's a hero. But who are some other players that influenced you?
Oh, I have a lot on that note. It's pretty funny. I mean, I'm a very big fan of Vinnie Moore.
Okay, cool.
And I've always had, and the reason being, with Vinnie Moore, he takes a lot of the jazz horn players I love, and their phrases, but with horn players, with the air, you know, the air you breathe, promote the sound to the instrument and everything, it makes a very smooth legato transition between notes, and it's very just effortless sounding. So when I listen to these jazz musician players, I fell in love with how their phrases connect. And I was like, okay, well, not very many people would take the attributes of a jazz horn player like Miles Davis or Dizzy Gillespie or Charlie Parker.
Oh, wow.
Phrases. And or John Coltrane, freaking amazing.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's great. That's great. Your influences are all over. Your influences,
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
put that to the guitar.
Wow, your influences are all over the place. But that's I think what makes you a great musician as well, as opposed to just listening to a bunch of rock or metal guys. I mean, it's all good, and the more different music you listen to, the more you're going to be influenced. The more it's going to affect the type of music you put out there. And Vinnie Moore's a great player. Vinnie Moore's a great player, and he got a lot of recognition back in the '80s in his heyday. And he's also played with Alice Cooper, and these days he's also playing with UFO. Have you heard any of the stuff he's?
UFO, yeah.
Yeah. Have you heard any of the stuff he's done with UFO?
Say it again?
I said, have you heard any of the records that he has done with UFO?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He freaking, and he fits like, because like you listen to a lot of solo stuff. It's like I'll ride like my bicycle and cruise for miles and miles within a bit. And this is like Remorse, and that's one of my favorite songs. You listen to that stuff, it's like it's very out there, and like he really goes into depth with his emotions. But like if you put it to into UFO, freaking straight rock and roll band, like he just fits right in and freaking just it makes sense. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you get these players that are really out there, and they like just like with Steve Vai, man, I love him to death too. But like if you hear him in other bands, like he tend to get like real. Even more technical and like solos and stuff sometimes. Like with him, like when he was UFO, I was when I first heard it, I was like, wow, dude, he sounds like freaking just a rock and roll guitarist.
See, that's kind of the other side. People think of him just as a shredder, but if you listen to that stuff he's done with UFO, it's kind of the other side of what he does.
Rock.
Yeah, he can rock with the best of them, and that's what I think is great. Yeah, and now the last thing I want to ask you, because again, I'm looking at your Facebook page. I always like to have something in front of me as I'm talking to people. I see on there you got a little app that says like a PayPal thing for where people could go and donate money. So if people donate money there, what do you guys use that for? Do you care to talk at all about that?
Well, I'm sure that receive too many donations, get people to wait for something to happen. They want to jump on board on it.
Oh, okay.
But, if we do receive any money from anyone, we put it straight to use. We don't go and buy a bunch of stupid crap. We'll put it to recording.
Back into the band, yeah.
Or CDs,
yeah.
Just back into the business. Everything is back, because we are an LLC. We're our corporation and business.
Yeah.
We put it, you have to put it back in to your business, or, if you want to ever succeed.
Yeah.
And, because you got to think of the business first of yourself.
That's why.
That eventually, that business that you supported is going to support you 10 times, you actually start profiting. Okay?
I mean, that's the reason they call it the music business, my friend. And again, you got a great little label, but the more you're willing to invest in yourself, the more money, and more success.
Exactly.
The more money come into your pocket.
Yeah. Right there is so true, dude.
Yeah.
Freaking true, and I wish a lot of people would follow it.
Well, Alex, I know you're very busy. I could talk to you all night, but it's been great talking to you. And the interview will probably be going up in a week or so. If you'd like, send me your or have your publicist give me your email or something, or I could send her an MP3 file of a interview we just did, and she could forward it to you. But it'll be going up in about a week or so. And keep my number, and anytime you want to do this, I'd love to do it again.
That would be great, man. I really appreciate you reaching on and giving me the time today to speak with you and all the promotion you're giving. I really appreciate it.
Okay, and best of luck to you and the rest of the band when the album drops tomorrow. I hope people go online and buy it. Creatures of Habit is the name, and the name of the band is Lawless Hearts. So good luck with that. I encourage everybody to go check out the video you got up now for the title track, Creatures of Habit. It's a really great looking video. They'll enjoy it. So anything else you'd like to say, Alex, before we go? Michael, I'm sorry. Michael. Yeah.
Hey, just everyone, stick to your guns. If you have something you love to do, don't quit because someone said that you can't do this, you can't do that. This band was founded on a dream, and it will continue to ride that dream to the top. And, we love what we do, and we want you to love us because we love what we do. And Lawless Hearts isn't just a band. Lawless Hearts is a movement, and we're here for the long run, and we want you to come join the family. because this thing's going to be larger than life. And we're here, we're now, and we're here. We're going to be here forever.
And before we end this, we're going to end it on a positive note before I say my final goodbye, Michael. I'm just going to say that you and your band are living proof that dreams can come true. So I want to congratulate you guys on everything you've succeeded at thus far, because I know success is headed your way.
Hey, thanks so much, brother, and we'll be in touch. We'll stay in touch for the long run.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.